What could you do with $44.99? You could treat the missus to Sunday roast at your local pub, maybe, with a few drinks. You could put enough fuel in your car to go from pump 2 to pump 4, or you could treat yourself to a new set of distance sticks from Summit Tackle. Before we carry on, please make sure that you're subscribed to us and you hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads from us. And also follow us on social media platforms where there's regular updates, competitions and much, much more. So these distance sticks come in at $44.99. But what do you actually get for your money? Well, to start with, quite a bit of weight. I'd say it's a good kilo or two of stainless steel, so it's quality materials and a dedicated bag that everything comes in. So if I open up the top compartment, the first thing you notice is the distance sticks themselves. So if I take these out, they're pretty lengthy ones, and you've got machined loops. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, 5 there, 5 there, and a single one at the bottom. So all of these machined little rings are what can basically control your line, keep your line in position when you're wrapping out. The bottom has a screw thread, so for tougher ground to get that in, then that makes it easier to get them in. And at the top, it's slightly tapered out to a thicker top with a blue topping, which actually has a Summit logo in the top. And before I put those logos on, there is room for an isotope to slot into there. So if before you put the stickers on, or if you want to put them in at a later date, take those stickers off, put an isotope in and put the sticker back on. But these also remove, which I'll get onto in a second. But yeah, so the main thing to take from these is that they're stainless steel, weighty items, but stainless steel is going to last a lifetime. So if you buy these, you can rest assured that they'll still be in your tackle bag as long as you're still using distance sticks in 20, 30 years time. These shouldn't have rusted or anything, and the steel should be just as good to go as they are on the day you buy them. So if I go back onto the fact that these tops pop off, it's because the next item in the bag, which has actually fallen out as I put it down, it did come out of that secondary pocket there, is this little T-bar. Again, stainless steel with a spirit bubble or spirit level in the middle. Idea being is, you pop that top off, slot it in there, and it fits perfectly one way, it won't rattle around in there. So this has a couple of benefits. Firstly, when you push it down in, you can check the spirit level bubble and make sure that you're putting that in bang straight like that, because if you have a wonky stick, or it might start falling over, your line might slip off, or it might be a bit awkward to get the line back off when you're reeling it back in. So that's the first benefit of having a spirit level. But another big benefit of having this, I think, is when you're pushing your distance sticks into gravelly ground or firm ground, that can get pretty painful on your palm. So putting this on, it gives you something else to use both hands to really push that down into the ground without ending up with a really sore palm for the rest of your session. So that is the little T-bar. Take it back out, and then that pops back in the top nice and easily like so. But there's one more thing in here, or 3 more things, but they're the same, is some little stainless steel pegs. Now these are different little markers. So say you've wrapped out and it's not an exact sort of 12.5 wraps or 12.25 or something, or you want to mark that out, but it's a really awkward little amount of distance and you want to be really, really precise. You put this down, you know that when you wrap out and you've done your 12 wraps and it's like a foot, you put that where your the tip of your rod ends up. So you know that you wrap out to within an inch pretty much of every time you're wrapping out. So these little pegs are ideal for that, because if you've got 3 different rods at different distances, you can make sure that you're wrapped out to this correct marker for each one. And these have 1 ring, 2 rings and 3 rings on each of them, so you can have these set for different rods. So it's quite a nice little addition to the set, and all of this comes in this nice bag, as I said. So for $44.99, you're not just getting your distance sticks, you're getting the T-bar and those little pegs and a bag all in one. So it's quite a nice little kit. What's it like to actually use? So that's what's in the kit, but what's it like to actually use? So I've just laid out my 12-foot rod on the bank just here. I'm going to put these in and just see what they're actually like, because some bank stick, or distance sticks, sorry, can be sort of not very strong in the ground, or when you're trying to get the line round, they just catch on things, and when you try and take the line off, they catch as well. So that'd be interesting to see how these actually perform when I put them in and use them. So take out the little cap and put the spirit bubble in, like so. Make sure I get it nice and level. Perfect. I know this is the sort of thing that a lot of you are probably saying, why do you need a spirit level for a distance stick? But if it's slightly wonky or doesn't go in perfectly. And also this T-bar is quite handy if you're using it on like rough terrain and banks that are hard to get it in. If you try and push a distance stick in with the palm of your hand, you're going to end up getting a very sore palm, and the distance stick probably won't go in as well as it should. So that's both distance sticks are now in. Using the T-bar with the spirit level, I now know that both of those sticks are in nice and firmly and also perfectly upright. So there's no chance of when I try and take the line back off, it's going to catch because one of them's slightly wonky. So now I'm going to lay my rig down on the left hand side. Perfect. Get it so that the spool is in its smallest state, so it's easier to control the line. This feels quite comfortable. Distance. Away we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's very, very quick to do 20 wraps. First thing I noticed, because they're quite large sticks, easy to not miss, if that makes sense. The tapered top or the wider top means that if I was a little bit loose on where the line lands, it slips down off that rather than over the top. It'll always go down. And then because you've got those grooves, all those sort of machined little rings, the line sits in them nicely. They're not sliding up and down on the pole. And if they were to slip, like I say, that top little tapered bit that's a bit wider will stop anything coming off. If you ever had line come off your distance stick, it can be an absolute nightmare and you're getting a right mess. So nice and easy to use. As you can see from some of the clips I've got already, you can see how that line beds into those rings. But now it's going to be interesting to see how that comes off, whether it catches on those rings or if it comes off easily, because sometimes you've got to do this and get your rod directly above the distance stick to get them off. I'm going to try it in the middle. Yeah, well, there you go. I'm just winding directly in the middle, not moving the rod side to side, keeping tension on my line so it doesn't go on slack. But that line is pinging off those rings easily. And it's not bringing off multiple rings at a time, because they're stuck in those machined rings. The exact right sort of wrap of line comes off at the right time. So 20 wraps out, and then if I clipped up, done, as simple as that. So very easy to use. You've just seen, obviously I've done a few other shots of using these as well, and each time same results. So nice and easy to use with no issues with line going anywhere. Of course I've then got the little stainless steel pegs. So if I was to wrap out a rod and it was 12.5 or 12.25, 12.3, whatever, that's when you put those little markers in, so you know that each time you can be pinpoint accurate with each of your wraps rather than eyeballing it. Of course you can still do that, but if it comes in the kit you may as well use them as well. So it's a thumbs up from me on the actual usability of these. So there we go, the Summit Tackle SS distance sticks. For more information, do head over to the Summit Tackle website, but to be honest, I've given you all the information you need in this. They're $44.99 stainless steel distance sticks with all the bells and whistles that come with it as well. So if you are interested in this, please do head over to their website and maybe pick some up for yourself. But that's it for me for now. Do remember to subscribe to us and hit the bell icon if you haven't already, and click somewhere for the subscribe button. I'm doing one of those things where people point at random places, and if this isn't coming up on your screen, I look stupid right now. But there's also some other videos that you might be interested in as well. So click one of them. You're still here. I'm off.